Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a quick little project. We're going to make a cover for this switch here. I have a project coming up, and actually a couple of them where I'll be using these, but I don't like the aesthetic. I don't want this to be sitting outside of the enclosure like that, so I decided to create a little cover, make it into a style that I actually want to use, and a little more aesthetically pleasing and a little more functional for my purposes. I wanted to use this switch because it has a nice satisfying click to it, and it has 3 poles here. So each one of these banks is isolated from each other, so none of these are touching each other. That's a complete circuit, that's a complete circuit, that's a complete circuit. And so the way this works is that in one position of the switch, these two are connected. In the other position of the switch, these two are connected. And that's true for all 3 poles. So what that allows you to do is you can control 2 different devices with 2 different voltages with one switch. In this case, you can actually do up to 3, but for the first project, we're only going to need the 2. And we'll see that in that video. And so I decided to design a little cover for this. And so what I wanted to do is I created this little flange piece. I call it the sleeve. This part will sit on the exterior of the enclosure. This part will be going through the hole that you make, and it has a threaded connection so you can screw on the secure nut, which we'll look at in a second. It also has internal thread, so we can mount the switch. The way we're going to mount the switch is with this little device here. And this one, the switch will go through, and then you secure it, and it becomes kind of one piece. We'll see that go together here in a second. Then we have the secure nut that goes on. If you decide to make one of these and it's a little tight or it doesn't want to feed very well from this side, you may have to go from this side first and feed it all the way through so it can break through. Sometimes printers have what they call the elephant's foot. It's kind of, you can see it here, it's lipped. And so you just have to kind of break through it. And once you do, it can go on pretty well after that. All right, and so the last piece is a cap. And so we've got a little power symbol there. I don't know how well you can see it on the screen. I'm probably going to color that in. So let's put it all together. We've got our piece here, got our retaining nut. And for this, I actually put 2 of them on there and really lock it down. It's not a lot of space to put the lock washer on, so I just took both of these and then secure them with the pliers and just really lock that down. And so from here, you'll actually want to drill your hole, mount that, and then secure it before putting on the switch part. So lock that into place. If you need to use super glue, you can, just to lock them once you get everything down. I don't think you will. I think friction fit will work well enough. I think you've got enough margin here in this threaded section that you can handle a wall up to probably a 1/4 inch almost, maybe. Thick wall you can go through. So let's say that's now secure. Let me lock in our piece here. We've got a nice little button. One last piece, put in our cap. And now we have a nice little flush mounted thing. Last thing I'll say is that in this particular design, the button is the tiniest bit proud. If you want to adjust that, you can just unscrew this bottom part a little bit to the height you want and lock it with super glue. So you can have it a little bit proud, you can have it flush, or you can have it recessed. And just lock it down with some glue and you're good to go. So that's it. These files will be available on Thingiverse, and I'll have a link to where I picked up these switches. I think they're fairly common enough that you should be able to find them on Amazon, eBay, electronics sites and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'd love to know if you actually end up printing any of these and using them in your projects. You guys have a great day.